for several years now, and it seems to be getting worse as it is being maintained and solidified by certain groups who, for the most part, unwittingly support the working elements of its foundation. The one who is wise can probably look at the thumbnail and piece together what I am about to discuss. Pride, the LGBTQ, diversity, equity, inclusion, new gender pronouns. Many people can look around them and at the media and see that these things have evolved into something most people could have never imagined. We can see how it has, but most people cannot see why it has. You see, folks, there is an agenda, but it's not what you think. Yes, the forces behind it are demonic, but the incentive for it is money. I know you're sitting there like, of course, it's always about money. And it is for the most part. For the dark forces that surround us, it's about controlling and ultimately destroying us. So, I want to talk about what's happening here and lay it out for everyone. Because I can see lately, people are getting very upset and they are getting fed up. So, with better understanding, we can direct our attention to what the real problem is here, so that we don't go after each other, because it's coming. Welcome back, folks. So let's get right into what this is all about. You ready? Giant investment organizations, big technology organizations, and the devil are working together to destroy our reproductive capabilities so that they can sell you babies. And if they can't sell you babies, they will find a way to get money from the government for every baby they can make. This is what almost everything that has been happening around us has been leading up to. So this is how it works. First, I want to give you guys a little history lesson. How many of you know who Gilbert Baker was? Well, Gilbert Baker was an openly gay artist who created the first pride flag, because politician Harvey Milk wanted a symbol for the community. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole history of this flag, because it is connected to so many things. It would just confuse you if I did. I will just give you guys a list of things that it is connected to. That rainbow flag is, of course, connected to the LGBTQ community. But people forget things. They forget that it is also connected to hippie culture. They forget that it is also connected to marijuana culture and psychedelics. You see, folks, back in the 80s, San Francisco had a growing AIDS problem. And marijuana helped to relieve the pain that came with having that disease. So, a person by the name of Dennis Perrin, an openly gay advocate for the LGBTQ community, him and a few other people formed the San Francisco Buyers Club, which became the first medical marijuana dispensary, and they were able to get laws passed to make weed legal, okay? They also had a communal house where they smoked a lot of weed. It was called the Castro House. And guess who was a member of the Castro House? Gilbert Baker. Some people say that Gilbert Baker came up with the idea for the pride flag while he was high on acid in a San Francisco nightclub. But that's just what they say. Gilbert Baker himself says the idea came from him wanting to make the flag come from something natural. He said it came from the sky. Now, honestly, folks, I don't know what else Gilbert Baker was into, but when he put together that pride flag, the original pride flag, there were 8 colors. Hot pink for sex, red for life, orange for healing, yellow for the sun, green for nature, turquoise for art and magic, blue for serenity, and purple for the spirit. Now, the 6th color, turquoise, can you think of anything that has to do with that color? Art and magic? I'll give you a hint. Thoth. Thoth was the god of art and magic, and he was also associated with the color turquoise or blue-green. The emerald tablets of Thoth. Thoth was also associated with alchemy. And do you guys know what is also associated with alchemy? The rainbow. You see, in alchemy, the rainbow is sometimes associated with the process of transformation, particularly the transition from one state to another. The colors of alchemy have pretty much the same meaning as the colors on that original pride flag. And Baker, all he really did was add the hot pink color for sex, the color red for calcination, the process of decomposition and purification where false perceptions and ego are burnt away. And on the pride flag, it means life. You have orange, dissolution, the breaking down of components, dissolution of constructs, and letting go of held beliefs. And on the pride flag, orange is healing. The color yellow, in alchemy, it means separation, the discernment of true essence from the impure. Analogous to the sun illuminating darkness. And on the pride flag, the color means the sun. The color green in alchemy means conjunction, the merging of opposites, the alchemical wedding of sun, which is the soul, and the moon, which is matter. And on the pride flag, it means nature. Okay? In alchemy, the color blue means fermentation, spiritual rebirth, the dawning of new consciousness. And on the pride flag, it means serenity. The color indigo in alchemy means distillation, purification of the mind and the spirit, reaching elevated states of clarity. The color violet means coagulation, attainment of the philosopher's stone, a symbol of enlightenment and immortality. And on the pride flag, the color purple means the spirit. You guys think that I'm making this stuff up? I don't care how good of a writer you are, you can't make this up. You see, most people waving this flag around, hanging it in their front yards, don't even know what the hell they're doing. I keep telling folks that this stuff almost always roots back to the ancient gods of Egypt and Babylon. Not to mention Greece and the Celtic gods. Now, getting back to the agenda at hand here, They have been using this flag as a brand, a style to move people in a certain direction, okay? What direction is that, you say? To get people to move in the direction of non-binary. They want people to abandon the binary genders and adopt and adapt to the multiple genders. But the main goal is to destroy the binary. Are you with me so far? Now that they have succeeded in that part of the plan, there is another part of the plan, which is...
Did you know that you do not have to wait until you pass to receive a payout from your life insurance policy?
You have to break down the traditional family unit. And how do you do that? Well, first, you have to get women to want to leave their husbands and relationships, and at the same time, you have to get men to walk away or go their own way. You make it so that marriage and divorce becomes a nightmare for men. And so while women are busy distracted with finances and are kept economically desperate, you can go look on TikTok. That's all they complain about, men finances. At the same time, you keep the men occupied with pornography and prostitution. And then you present men with the alternative of AI girlfriends. Ta-da! Now you have a rapidly declining birth rate. And to keep this going, all they do is make sure that children are taught to accept all of this at a very young age. That's why it's being put into schools. Meanwhile, tech companies are figuring out ways to grow human babies in artificial wombs. I've already talked about this in another video. They are very close to achieving this, if they haven't already. So now you have companies that build AI, you have companies that build robots, and you have companies that build artificial wombs. You put that all together, and now you have an android surrogate. And people are going to accept this and welcome it. Do you know why? Because people are having less children, and more people are not going to be able to have children because of the food and drugs, and because of something they injected into more than half the population. Is it all coming together for you? Is it all making sense now? Think about this. These life-sized sex dolls that they are manufacturing are becoming more realistic. Take one of these AI robot surrogates and wrap it up in some lifelike human skin with an AI brain, it's over. Men are going to go around knocking up robots. With enough money, all this could be put together today because we have all the parts we need. We have all the components to do it. Tell me that isn't scary. Do you think these people who sit at the very top haven't thought of this? This is why they don't stop putting this stuff in movies and music and now video games. Because they have to reach children and keep reaching them. And they are pushed to do this by giant investment firms or organizations like BlackRock, for example. That's why it's not going away even when the consumers complain. Folks, I've just told you a bunch of stuff they don't want you to know. But they've been putting it in your face, hoping that you won't see it until it's too late. So my message here is, don't hate each other. Just understand each other. And understand who is really behind all of this. Because people are just people. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Well, that's all for now, and there is more to come. I'm I'm going to link up that video on artificial wombs for you. Watch that video. It will be linked on screen at the top right corner of this video and in the description box and pinned comment below. I do read the comments. I just don't always have time to put the hearts on the comments, but I do read the comments, folks. And I appreciate the comments. Again, if you like this video,